Hello, hello, my friends. I am kicking off the Kringle Candle post-burn reviews with this beauty, Grilled PB&J. Now, before we get into this review, I do want to disclose a couple of things up front. You are seeing that paid promotion label, banner, whatever that is, pop up on the screen here. This video is not sponsored by Kringle Candle. However, I am a brand ambassador and this candle was sent to me in PR. So if you are still here with me after I made that statement, you know, if you've been around my channel for any length of time, that really does not impact the review. I have given excellent reviews for candles that have been sent to me in PR, and I have also told you a couple of candles that have been sent to me or that I have purchased from brands that I am an ambassador for are virtually unscented and to tell you to stay away from them. So anyways, I did want to get that out of the way. Second thing is I do not have my mic on for this review. I actually already filmed this review earlier today, and when I went to edit, apparently my mic needed to be charged. I have a little wireless mic. It needed to be charged and it cut out about 5 seconds into the review unbeknownst to me. So you may get a little bit of background noise, but I hope you guys don't mind. So let's go ahead and get into this review. This is part of 6 candles that will be launching on Thursday, June 20th, the first day of summer over on Kringle Candle. These candles will be $34 each. The candles will be available starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What else did I want to say about this launch? There's a lot to talk about. Personally, you guys, I kind of feel like a lot of the fragrances that are being offered in this collection are perfect, in my opinion, summer to fall transitional fragrances. I personally am a very seasonal burner, and right now I'm really in like tropical, beachy, sunscreen, coconut type of fragrances. But I do know probably in about another month I'm going to be growing tired of those, and I'm kind of liking this collection for when I get tired of that. All right, you guys, enough about the entire collection. Let's go ahead and focus on this candle right here, because I have a sneaking suspicion that this is one of the fragrances a lot of people are excited about. Peanut butter and jelly fragrances have kind of been a thing, I would say, for the last year and a half. I know that Hallmark's released, what was it? It was like a raspberry jam, peanut butter and raspberry jam. I actually had received that one last year. And then I know Bath & Body Works has done some peanut butter and jelly candles. I believe Goose Creek has one. So a fragrance that honestly a couple of years ago I think would have been a little bit more on the conceptual side seems to be a little bit more mainstream, and it looks like Kringle is jumping on board. So we have here the 22 ounce 100% soy wax 2-wick large tumbler here. They are still sticking with the somewhat transparent black glass for this reserve line. Now I'm going to go ahead and start out with a little bit of a critique, because while I do like this label, I think it's very authentic. Do you guys notice right here? I'm noticing that it feels like this is a little bit crooked. Now, of course, that's nitpicking, but truthfully, if I'm spending $34 on a candle, I think that I want a little bit more attention paid to how the labels are being put on. So that's just a little bit of feedback for Kringle. Maybe some of their, I don't know, whoever does that in their factories, just might want to pass on that information. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance notes on this candle. We have top notes of peanut butter, mid notes of grape and raspberry, bottom notes of nut and sugar. The pour date on this candle is May 21st, 2024. So this candle is very, very young. It is not even a month old. I almost feel like they poured these and then sent them out to us in PR, because I've had these candles now for about a week. So yeah, they did not have much curing time, I think, in the factory between the time they were poured until they were actually shipped to a select group of us ambassadors. So what does my nose smell? You guys, this is a very authentic fragrance to what is pictured here. So on cold sniff, I will tell you that the most dominant note that I was picking up was the peanut butter fragrance. The peanut butter in here is not like Skippy or Jif. It is very much like a natural peanut butter. It's not an overly sugary peanut butter. It definitely leans more savory, but it is also definitely peanut butter like you would have on a sandwich. In a weird way, you guys, they don't have a bread note listed in here, But when I smell this candle, I do not think peanut butter cookies. I don't think any other kind of like peanut butter type of dessert. This is definitely like peanut butter on bread, but you do get a hint of that jelly accord, and to my nose it comes across as kind of like a Concord grape jelly, maybe with a little bit of raspberry in the background. And I will tell you that on the first two burns, the peanut butter note was definitely more dominant to my nose. I was really thinking like, oh, this is a really savory fragrance. I'm not really sure if I'm picking up where is the grape accord in this, right? Well, let me tell you, on the third burn, I was like, oh, there it is. I started to notice it. So sometimes, and this is not just Kringle candles, this is all candles, sometimes I feel like they take 2 or 3 burns for you to really get the complexities and the nuances in the fragrance to come to life. I've said this a lot about the Homeworks fragrances. The Homeworks candles, oftentimes you really don't get the full experience of them until you're about a third of the way through the burn. And while I don't think it takes that long with these Kringle candles, I do think usually it takes about 3 burns for you to really kind of get into the fullness of what the fragrance is going to be. If I'm going to classify this fragrance, if you think that this is a sweet or a savory, I'm still going to say that my nose thinks that this is a little bit more on the savory side, but I do get the jelly accord in there. It reminds me very much of the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches I had as a child. Fun fact, you guys, I was an extremely picky eater. I still am in some ways. And I had a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches growing up. Sometimes they would get smashed in my lunch pail. Did any of you guys ever have that issue? And then you're like, great, I can't wait to eat this soggy peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, what I am going to say about this fragrance that I feel like it kind of takes it up a little bit more of a notch, and why I'm kind of glad that they labeled this a grilled PB&J, is because I think the reason why this fragrance leans a little more savory than a like traditional balance of what you would think a peanut butter and jelly, and maybe have a little bit more of that jelly accord in there, is because this makes me think of a warm or like toasted or grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. There is, like I said, that almost like a butteriness or a savory. Savory is just the word that I keep going back to. Sorry, I just bumped the table. There is a savoriness to this that I feel like it's just a little bit more dominant than the sugary jellied aspect. It's there, but it's not like a 50-50 split. I would say to my nose, this is definitely more 70% savory, grilled bread with peanut butter, like ooey gooey peanut butter, natural peanut butter on it. And then I would say like the other 30% is that grape accord, or there's a little bit of raspberry. It's not straight up grape, like it's not Kool-Aid grape, but it definitely reminds me of like the good old-fashioned grape jelly that was in my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches growing up. So in terms of the fragrance description, I think that it is quite accurate for what I am seeing here. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle, because there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Okay, first off, you can see the flames through here. You guys, I've had this candle lit for 30 minutes and look at how hot this candle is burning. I know a couple of the other ambassadors who have gotten their hands on these have also said the same thing. You guys are gonna want to trim the wicks on these candles before you burn them. If you do not, I'm telling you, about 2 hours in, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours in, you are going to have flamethrowers. These wicks are burning hot. Like very, very hot. So I noticed on the first burn of this candle that after about 2.5 hours, I did have to extinguish it, because while it wasn't developing large mushrooms where they were like falling over into the wax pool, there was quite a bit of carbon residue at the ends of the wicks, and the flames were like, they were pretty significant. So I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and extinguish these. I let the wax cool, and then I relit it. And I will tell you that trimming the wicks in between burns does help quite a bit. The other thing I'm going to tell you is that you do not want to burn this candle any longer than 3 hours, not only because of the wicks burning so hot, but I will tell you that this fragrance, while I enjoy it and I think it remains pretty authentic in that 3 hour time period, I did have one day where I burned it for about 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and it did start to take on almost like a scorched scent to me. Now, when I've relit it in successive burns, it did not have that fragrance. So it's not like if you let that happen once, now the fragrance is ruined. That's not what's going to happen. I think that that is just more so because these wicks are burning so hot. If you leave it burning for too long, the fragrance oils are going to start to smell a little bit scorched. Not sooty, it just started to smell like kind of, I call it like the burnt caramel type of effect, or there's just something about it that I'm like, I don't like this anymore. And then I went ahead and extinguished it. So I did want to make that known to you guys. Also, while we are transitioning between the performance and the fragrance, I did want to say that if you are familiar with the Homeworks version of their peanut butter and raspberry jam candle, I can't remember the exact wording of that. Here's the thing. That candle to me was definitely, the raspberry note was definitely more prominent than the peanut butter. The savory accord was in the background, while that one had more of like, I actually called it like an artificial sweetness in the foreground. It was that take on raspberry honestly reminded me a little bit of like the plastic toys that I had in the late 80s and early 90s. Any of you guys who were children in those ages or in that time frame, you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that that accord was more dominant. Whereas I feel like it's flipped with this one, and I don't get that like fake artificial toy type of fragrance at all in here. They're very different fragrances. So if you're thinking, you know, am I going to be buying repetitive fragrances if I already have that one in my collection? You will not be. This is very much a different fragrance than that one. All right, you guys, I need to finish up this review here. Okay, strength and throw, because I think that's what you guys are all really concerned about. This one's a powerhouse, you guys. And you know, like I said earlier, I don't hesitate to, you know, give a bad review if one is necessary. This candle, you guys, is a strong 8.5, 9 for me. I've been burning it out in the open concept living room. I can smell it all throughout the living room, all throughout the kitchen. It wafts all the way over to the entrance of the bedrooms in my house. If you want the layout details, the size of my home, age, environmental factors, all of that is listed in the description box down below for you guys. That information is very important to take into account, you guys, because that, you know, that gives you some perspective about how a reviewer is coming to the assessment that they are coming to when they are determining how well a candle is performing in their home. And I will tell you that the strength, like the throw is good, but the strength is equally as good because you're not having to sniff the air. This is very much, this is a smack you in the face type of fragrance. However, it's not cloying, it's not overbearing. I will tell you that one of the other ambassadors is not a fan of this fragrance, but I will let that person disclose that information when they do a review on this one. But for me personally, you guys, I don't think it's going to be backup worthy for me. You guys know that I am also a little bit more particular about the fragrances that I buy backups for, just because I really have to prioritize purchasing new candles to review for you guys. I enjoy it and I will enjoy it for what it's worth. I do think that if you already have Jelly Donut in your collection, that is a nice complementary fragrance. It's not necessary, but if you're like me and really want to experience different fragrances that complement each other as you move from room to room in your house, that one pairs really nicely with this. If you have Bath and Body Works Raspberry Rosé, that would be another one that would go nicely. And then the new fragrance Merlot, while I have not burned that candle yet, I did receive it. If you guys caught my video where I was going over all of these fragrances, unfortunately that candle was badly damaged in shipping, and they did send me a new one, but I have not yet received it. However, I suggested that pairing to my friend Melanie, Mr. Kong's mom, and she has tried it and she says that it is a delicious combination. So those are just some candles that complement this one. But yeah, these candles will be releasing, like I said, next Thursday. So I'm trying to get these reviews out for you guys so that way you have some time to mull them over, put together a list if you are interested in purchasing them. I do have a discount code with Kringle Candle. It is Katie15. It will save you 15% off of your purchase at Kringle. That is an affiliate code that is eligible for a commission, so please only use that if you are comfortable doing so. These reserve candles usually do not go on sale. So that might be, I mean, I think if you have like rewards points that you can redeem, that's another way that you can get a discount on these. But for the most part, you guys, if you want an extra discount and you're comfortable using them, the ambassador codes are probably going to be the way to go for you. But let me know in the comment box, are you interested in this candle? Is this one that is on your short list? I will always tell you guys that it's important for you to not only listen to my review, but I know a lot of the fellow ambassadors will probably be sharing their thoughts over the next week, and take in all of the ambassadors' thoughts, not only just here on YouTube, but there's quite a few over on Instagram who put in the work and give some pretty good detailed reviews. And having more opinions oftentimes can give you a little bit better determination, I would say, if this candle is going to be right for you. I will say, and I don't, you guys know, I'm really not big on stirring up FOMO, but I will say that if this candle or the caramel, cocoa, and toasted fluff candles appeal to you, if you really think that those are ones that you are going to like, yes, I will have a review coming up on that one soon. I would say that those are likely going to be the first two that will sell out. Just based on history with these reserve launches, the gourmand fragrances tend to go quickly. So I don't want to steer the, I don't want to do the Hunger Games with all of you guys, but I am just being honest with you that if those are fragrances that you really have your eye on, those are the ones you have your heart set on, make sure that you are ready to purchase pretty close to the opening window, because I think that those will go quickly. And also on the flip side of these things, you guys, if it's not in your budget right now, or you're just kind of on the fence about these and you feel like maybe you have to buy them because everybody else is excited about them, I'm going to give you permission to bow out. It's okay, you guys. There's always going to be new fragrances coming down the pipeline. There's always going to be another sale. There's always going to be a new launch. You guys, we are on the cusp of fall fragrances. We know we're going to blink and those are going to be here. So I kind of want to encourage both ends of the spectrum there, no matter where you find yourself. It's okay to, if you have money in the budget and you're excited about these, go wild. And if it's just not, and you're just kind of having to talk yourself into it, if you have to talk yourself into the purchase, it's not meant to be. So I'll just say that. But overall, you guys, I am going to give this one 2 thumbs up in terms of performance and authenticity for the fragrance that it is. Let me know, are you planning to purchase this one? And if you found this video helpful, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. That really helps me out with the old YouTube algorithm. It also lets me know that you guys like to see dedicated reviews like this. What else did I want to say? I think that's pretty much it. Feel free to just leave anything in the comments below, as long as they are respectful of myself and others within the community. I always encourage dialogue down there. I do want to say thank you so very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.